All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Ready! Yellow 80! Yellow 80!
Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Kill. 53! Ready! Get on!
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
To try again after the sack. Stafford, and he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. From Viking territory now. They'll come up first and 10 at the 47. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll make this a second and long. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Vikings. Nyheim Hines, 79 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Here's Mariota. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
What's the run? They're running it. Check 52. One. Blue dot Porkers. Three.
To throw Mariota. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And the Vikings first down.
Right there, 54 Mike. Let's go, Heavy. Let me know what you got. Heavy? One. Give me something. Here we go. Watch twins. 54 Mike.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hines. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd.
6-0 our score after 1. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And his kick here is good. And that will make our score 9-0. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Hey!
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing to Stafford. And it's complete. It's Damian Williams. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
40 got.
Brings up 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete to Williams. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Don't get nervous. Jim.
On 2nd down, Williams. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 bucks. Watch twist. Watch drill right, 22. Look at him.
Play action. Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Naeem Hines with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 1st down, Stafford here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Byron Jones. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He was looking for Edelman there. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They run the counter. Hines. So that one will get them halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Scott Miller with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. Already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. That's complete. It's Gordon. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
At the 35-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner, coming off a 3rd straight All-Pro season. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Mariota on the move to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Hines. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
1st down, Vikings.
Set, wide, and 3, Mike. 3. Here I come. Watch twist. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 21 yards away, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
You draw Porter. 32. Hey, orbit.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Check 3. He's checking. 7. 40 got.
They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. This is caught. It's Cooks. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Cooks. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. Jason Myers now for the extra point. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 40 now on second down. Mariota got his man, Robbie Anderson. The Vikings on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Mariota throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Demir Bird, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. This is Hines. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Where are they, team? Rush in.
Mariota. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
It's a 2nd and 9 at the 29-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Mariota to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Check. 53's mine. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the gun, Mariota. Out to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Third and goal, Mariota. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 44. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
They've gone final now in our nation's capital. And it was the Patriots that wound up winners in that one. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance